A playoff game 11 years in the making. That's how long it had been since the Suns had reached the postseason, and they're now 1-0 after the win against the LA Lakers on Sunday. As you look at the Western Conference bracket, utter chaos there with the 1, 3, and 4 seeds all trailing, and the champs down 1-0 as well. Our Chris Haynes is with us to talk that Lakers-Suns series in particular. Of course, began yesterday, resumes tomorrow night. First of all, Chris Paul, as we saw, went down in the second quarter with that right shoulder injury, then returned, said he'll, quote, absolutely be ready for game 2. What, if anything, do we know about his condition the day after the injury?
Well, he didn't speak to media today. What I do know is that I spoke to Chris Paul last night after the game. I gave him a call, and, he told me that, his arm is going to be bothered, but he's going to be getting around-the-clock treatment for these next 48 hours. And it was a little bit stiff. That's the way he explained it to me. Just a little bit some stiffness, but he didn't want to go into detail of what exactly he's going through in a certain degree. But he told me, just like he told everybody else, he'll be ready for game 2.
Yeah. Well, based on the very high bar they've set for themselves, LeBron James was okay. Anthony Davis was not good in game 1. How much of that can be attributed to their physical state, their injuries, and the time they missed over the course of the regular season? How much is just with what Phoenix did?
Yeah, I got to credit Phoenix in that. And, in particular, I got to credit Jay Crowder. He's somebody who's being real physical with Anthony Davis. And we all know when Anthony Davis, the way he scores the ball, he scores when he's active, offensive rebound and catching lobs. But when he's put in situations where he just has to go out there and get a basket, most of the defenders that have good success with him are the ones who are physical, and that's Jay Crowder. That's what he's doing. So AD, he's going to have to get more active around the basket, get putbacks and, offensive rebounds to kind of find his offensive rhythm, and he has to find his shot. When he finds his outside shot, that's when the game opens up for him. So I look for him to be more aggressive. But, hey, Jay Crowder, he's not no slouch.
That's why he's on that roster, of course. Devin Booker waited 6 years for the moment on Sunday, and he delivered with 34, 7, and 8 in his playoff debut. What to you was most impressive about his first outing in the postseason?
His poise. I mean, if you look at anybody on the floor, all 10 players that were on the court at any given time, he looked like the veteran because it didn't rattle him. There was no situation that he was put in that you felt like the situation or the moment got the better of him. He handled everything the right way. He made plays, he scored, he found guys. And he did it with a demeanor. Like he wasn't, he wasn't boisterous. You didn't see his expressions changing. He went out there like this was his 100th playoff game opposed to his first. And so that's what I was struck by. That's what really caught my eye. If he could continue playing like that, it's going to be really hard to stop this young, energetic, athletic Phoenix Suns squad.
Yeah, they're so good on both sides of the ball. Likewise, DeAndre Ayton put up #1 overall pick kind of numbers in his first playoff game. Where has he grown the most in his third season?
Well, that's where I've seen Chris Paul. That's where I got to give Chris Paul a lot of credit with DeAndre Ayton. Like, when the game goes to commercial, you'll see Chris Paul a lot of times going over to Ayton and kind of like mimicking footwork with Ayton. Ayton look down at his feet and say, okay, I got it. That's how I'll do it. And, Chris Paul just showing him, have your hands ready, have your hands up. And, when you got a guy like Chris Paul on the floor with a young big man, that speaks volumes, and that's only going to help your learning curve as he tries to get better and better at this game at the center position. So he's been a monster to deal with down there. And look, the Lakers added interior presence for a player like him. They really added for players like, Joker and Embiid. But you got to get past somebody like Ayton right now. And Drummond had a nice game, him and Montrezl Harrell, but they got to do more to limit DeAndre Ayton's effectiveness out there.
Ayton's done a great job this season, to me, of sort of staying in his lane and still managing to be appropriately productive for this very good Suns team. 10 of 11 in game 1. Chris Haynes, always great to have you on. Good to talk to you, and good luck with the extended playoff run that takes us into July.
Thank you, my guy.
All right, Chris Haynes with us. Kevin, what did you make of this duo in their playoff debuts, accounting for 55 points for the Suns?
Played really well. I thought Ayton was unbelievably efficient. But Booker was the guy for me. He just kind of took everything the defense, they switched, they put different people on him. He took him, he stopped, he got to where he wanted. He just doesn't take threes. He gets to where he wants. He gets to 15 feet. You know, he's got great extension. He really rises up and shoots the ball high, nice high. I love his shot. And those two just played great. And I think a lot of credit goes to Monty Williams, Coach of the Year, great job. But a lot of credit goes to Chris Paul. He's got both those guys just you said it earlier very adeptly, that he stays in his lane. Like Ayton just does what he does well.
Right.
You don't see Ayton taking three-pointers and trying all this stuff, expanding his game. He just does what he does. And Chris Paul's got that team really believing. So they're fun. It's going to be interesting. My only thing I would do is I would put AD a lot at the center, and just I know that, and just make him play Ayton, take him out of the paint, and just change up. I wouldn't keep playing a couple non-scorers that the Lakers throw out there in that 5 spot.
I know they brought in Andre Drummond and had ideas about what he could be for the Lakers. They just seem better when they play smaller and Davis is center. That might not be his preference, but it seems to work better for the team.
Yes.
Zeke, as far as Booker goes, what struck you about his first time out in the postseason?
Well, I would echo what Chris Haynes said. Just his attitude and his demeanor, his sternness and his believability in himself. There was no wasted effort. Anytime that he drew two, he put the ball behind the trap, gave it up right away, kept the defense off balance, moved well without the basketball, put it on the floor, then right in the mid-range, pulls up, looks, gets a shot off. I mean, this is just textbook, individual one-on-one moves here. Beat your man, lower the shoulder. Don't go too deep into the lane. Make that big have to come outside to stretch. Now you can get that shot over him. And again, right here, just one-on-one, they come to double team, quickly put the ball behind the trap. Now you got 3 against 2, and you're allowing your teammates to make a play. I thought Booker was great. I thought his demeanor, I thought his understanding of how the defense was trying to play him and the way he attacked showed not only his basketball IQ, but also his skill level was on display.
Good for him after that 6-year wait, and good for the people of Phoenix to get playoff basketball back again after waiting 11 seasons.